top of Bolo DC to the beaches of Maryland, we cover Liberia like nobody else does. This is Spoon 107.5 FM.
Once you hear this song, it means it's time for your program, Spoon Talk Business. This is your business program right here on Spoon 107.5 FM. We are also live on Fabric 101.1 FM. We are live on Spoon TV. We are live on Fabric TV. We are live on Super TV. This is where you come to showcase your business, your businesses, or whatever occasion that you have going on once it comes to the business world. Our regular guest, Felix O'Lawrence III, is in studio again, and he wants to make sure this network business be all over Liberia. And that is why Mr. Lawrence is seated to discuss the official launch of Starlink in Liberia and the incredible potential it holds for transforming industries across the nation. He's going to be hitting the educational sector and different sectors, agriculture, and all of those. But you just get glued to your radio. Share the show, please. Go ahead and share the show. We are awaiting the host, Dr. Richardson and COTT Cunning, to come on. Until they come on, here is your guest, Mr. Lawrence. We want to welcome him. Right, it seems we are having a little technical issue there, but we are going to make sure we get Mr. Lawrence on so that he can tell us more about this Starlink being launched in Liberia. You know, people have been talking about Starlink a lot, and you might want to know more about what Starlink is about. How come it is coming to Liberia? How can you benefit from different sectors in this country? So, my people, get glued to your radio, and like I said, you can also, share the show. Make sure everybody else can get to watch the program. Welcome. My name is Lorena Honoré. Indeed, I am your producer, and waiting the host, Dr. Francine Chenoweth Richardson, and of course, COTT Carney. Until then, let's take a short break and get Mr. Lawrence in through the StreamYard so that you see him and understand what we are discussing. But for those in the radio land, hey, get glued to your radio, call all of your friends, your neighbors, try to understand our Omanena making cassava farm. We're in the villages. How do you stand to benefit when it comes to internet connectivity so that you can be a part of the network world? You understand? Every part of the world, in various counties and states and villages and towns, so many people are connecting. Liberia has been slacking and lacking. We've been dragging. And so thank God for this young, I call him the tech genius, who is here to make sure that, everybody in those counties and other places can benefit, including the educational sector. So we take a short break. When we come back, and then we get him through so that he can discuss what Starlink is about, in case you just tuned in for the first time, and how is Starlink going to be here in Liberia. Remember, the program is Spoon Talk Business.
Okay.
All right, we are back. And so let me say welcome to the program. Thanks to you for being there. And so many thanks to those that are sharing. Keep sharing. Yeah, it's Mr. Lawrence, our guest for today. He has been on the show. Like, is this your fourth time?
I think so, Lorraine. I think it's my
Because you are our most tuned in guest or most featured guest, if I should say. All right, so Mr. Lawrence, welcome you. Welcome to your studio. I mean, this is your second time in the studio, and I love you. I know you love Spoon Studio. So welcome. Our host will be coming on soon. But now that you are here, the people will just want to know a little bit about who is this Felix O. Lawrence the third. So tell us a little bit about yourself, sir.
definitely, Lorena. Kind of reintroducing myself because it looked like every time anyway. But
Yeah.
yes, so I am Felix O. Lawrence III. I am the founder and CEO of Signal Technology. Signal Technology is a 100% Liberian owned LTA licensed internet service provider. We provide internet, broadband internet via satellite. Uh, this allows us to provide internet to the entire country. So as of now, we have customers in all 15 counties in Liberia. We are into schools, into healthcare, and just into improving connectivity and bringing about digital inclusion. We are an impact company. That means that our work impact our community, and pretty much that's what we are. We've been in business for about 3 years now, almost 3 years, and it's been a great ride.
All right. So, did you experience before we get into the conversation, your topic? Did you experience some challenges entering the Liberian market, especially where people, a lot of people are saying that Liberians are lacking when it comes to internet connectivity, especially rural Liberia.
Yes, and because of the nature of our business, we focus on the rural part of Liberia. Most of the time, when I talk to people and ask them, and I tell them about Signal Technology, they say, "We've never heard of you." And I say, yes, it's kind of by design. We focus on the less fortunate area.
Okay.
Liberia has a very, very low internet penetration rate. As of now, as of January of last year, 2024, we had over 50% of the population offline in
Oh,
Liberia. So, I mean, most people think of Liberia to think of Morovia, right? We have a very large population here, and they think of Morovia, but Liberia is more than just Morovia. And we believe in digital inclusion and equality, as far as when it comes to the internet, as far as access, as far as to access to resources and stuff like that. The reason why we believe that is because if you have people in Morovia here that have 5G or they have fiber and everything else. Well, what about somebody who is in Riverside? Do they not, do they not deserve to have fast internet? Do they not deserve to have affordable internet? So we believe that, that the internet is the gateway to knowledge. We're living in a knowledge-driven society, and we believe that the internet can actually open those doors that a lot of people lack.
hmm. All right. So, how many counties have Signal Technology connected there right now?
All 15 counties.
Hmm.
The company, what we're about, we were about a lot of rural internet.
Hmm.
Okay, we have less than 5% of our customers in Morovia.
Wow.
Yeah, less than 5% of our customers is in Morovia. Morovia has a lot of options as far as when it comes to connectivity, when it comes to internet. But we believe that everybody has the right connectivity, access to the internet is now considered a human right. Okay, we have a program. I've mentioned it before prior to this visit called the SchoolNet program
Hmm.
that we launched sometime late late 2023. I apologize.
2023. Yeah.
2023. And as of now, we have about 15 schools. We have close to a little over 20,000 students when all the schools are online. So, Liberia, it is what it is. Sometimes we have schools that go out for 2, 3, 4 months. Sometimes we've seen 4 months plus for some schools. So, but when they're all online, we're servicing about over 20,000 students in our SchoolNet program. Okay,
Wow.
we have about 4 banks. We have about 10 concessions. We have a very large agriculture company that a lot of Liberians are familiar with that uses our service. The Liberia Agriculture Company, LAC, that uses our service. Yes, so that's what we're about.
All right. So now people are looking at, maybe you went to the companies or the educational side, but what about Oma Matora, all the way in the village and in the town, and she wants to use internet as well. Did you educate our people? The should I say uneducated ones?
Yeah. So again, we picked this technology, and right now we do have access to the fiber C square. We have access to telco fiber and stuff like that. But we chose to push the satellite technology because it allows us to provide internet in the entire country.
Mm-hmm.
And what that does is we can reach, when it comes to connectivity, when it comes to internet in Liberia, I keep talking about internet because I believe it's a gateway. Okay, knowledge is power, and the access to that knowledge is the internet. Because you can find out anything you want to find out. You want to find out how to make sushi, you can get on the internet and make it, and find out how to make sushi. Okay, so we like I said, we consider ourselves an impact company. We have the 15 schools that I talked about. For us, going after schools and stuff like that is a strategy we decide to go into, because we believe that when you service one school, you are servicing about 400 plus more students. So for the common people, we are starting to launch hotspots around. Right now, we're in discussion with a few city mayor to do hotspots where people can pay maybe like $1 and have internet for the entire week or something like that.
$1 for the entire week.
Yes, for those kind of hotspots, they're going to be in certain zones that is deemed what is called like less fortunate.
All right, and the thing is, they must have a smartphone.
Yes, so that's the thing about the internet. Is mainly smartphone friendly, and I believe people like companies like Techno and all the other guys that bring in very affordable phones into the country.
A lot of them
are good initiatives. Yes.
All right, so let's discuss the official launch of Starlink in Liberia and some of the services you are providing.
So Starlink is the elephant in the room, and the elephant has just entered the room. Yes. So Starlink, and I just want to do a disclaimer. I don't work for Starlink. Mm-hmm. Okay. I do have our company do have affiliations with Starlink as far as resellership.
Yeah.
We are not just in Liberia. We're in Sierra Leone. We're in Namibia via another company. We have partnerships. We have partnerships in Ghana and Nigeria. So when we're speaking about Starlink, we're not just talking about Liberia. Okay. And every one of those jurisdictions has their own requirements and their own regulations. So just to put that disclaimer out, that I'm not speaking on behalf of Starlink and stuff like that. But what I am is what is considered a thought leader in the technology sector. Therefore, if there's something that's improving, there's something that complemented, the technology with internet and everything else, then of course I will talk about it. Okay. For most people that don't know, once you leave Monrovia, my friend, when it comes to internet, it's not very great. Okay. And like, again, I said, we have a company that believes in, fair access regardless of the economic status. Right. So we will promote a company that is providing something that is helping the Liberian people, that is opening those doors, and giving them access to things that they wouldn't normally have. Okay, we have a country, a government right now that has a very aggressive digitization program. Okay, agenda. I mean, where they're trying to connect as much people as possible to resources, government resources. Because right now, if you go in certain part of Liberia, certain rural areas, if somebody want to get a passport, it's not happening. Okay, so you have to come all the way to
To
Monrovia.
Montserrat, yeah.
So we and part of what we do is to change that. That's
Okay.
that's our goal. Besides just the resources, the access, healthcare, telemedicine, remote learning. They got institutions in the world. Education become borderless. With the internet. So Starlink provide a service, okay, that leverage that playing field. Okay, meaning that whatever speed, whatever access people have here in Monrovia can be available to somebody in Riverside, you know, in Zambuya. I always talk about Zambuya because I've been there a few times.
Which country is that?
That's Nima Kante. That's like 3 to 4 hours drive from Ganta in the bush. So I always talk about that. I have customers where they have prior to the technology we brought, uh, they had to drive like 2 hours just to make a WhatsApp call to call their family.
Wow.
So that's the people that we're a compliment to the GSM, to the big guys that spend all the money behind the big infrastructure that we all enjoy today. And Starlink leveraged that playing field, whereas the same kind of access and the affordability. Matter of fact, don't say I said. Starlink just posted the local prices for Liberia on their website, and it is very disruptive. Okay, it's very competitive. It's very affordable. And remember now, with one Starlink dish, you can put an entire village on one Starlink dish. Yes, you can do that. So if they're saying we're going to sell something for $40 a subscription, and you can put about 200 people on that $40, that goes a long way. Okay, so yes, that's our relationship with Starlink, and that's why we mentioned it, because it's a renowned service, a renowned innovation, to put short.
All right, so Dr. Richardson has entered the studio, and so I'm going to be in the background. I'm going to put her on camera right here in this seat. We didn't know she was coming. We are happy to see her here, and Mr. Felix O'Lawrence, I know you're happy to see your diaspora sister. So yes, let's continue. We are discussing. I always like to reintroduce my guests. Felix O'Lawrence III has been here on Spoon Talk Business a couple of times. This is his fifth time, if I'm guessing right. So he is going to be discussing, like he said, he made the disclaimer. He is not speaking on behalf of Starlink. He's from Signal Technology. He didn't talk about his company, so let me do that. And we're just going to take a short break as we usher in Dr. Francine Richardson, who has entered the studio. So if you are there, we are here. We welcome you to Spoon Talk Business.
Yes, hello. It's good to see everyone here today and have you here. As you know, we have Mr. Lawrence in studio today. He's from Signa Technologies, and I apologize for being late, but I just obviously came from the farm, so I look like a farm girl right now. But it's okay. We'll do anything to promote Liberian business, and we'll also do anything to promote Mr. Lawrence from Signal Technology. So thank you for joining us. It's good to see you. So I'm in the middle of the conversation here, but I have a few questions, and I hope that I'll be asking some of the questions that you are interested in. So, Mr. Lawrence, I understand that you have a breaking news for us, and I believe that you guys broke some of the news, but I want you to break the news again because what you are doing in Liberia is so vital to me. I just came from a underdeveloped area,
Mhm.
and there
Yeah,
was I couldn't even connect
yeah,
with Lorena because
mhm,
of no connection. Nor could I have talked to other people on my my location where I was from.
yeah,
So, can you tell us how do you think this technology will change us? This is a game changing technology for Liberia.
yeah. So the announcement was made yesterday. I believe I saw it on
Uh huh.
the chairman of the LTA
Okay.
status.
Uh huh.
Yeah, and that's how I learned about it.
Okay.
I guess they had some insight about it.
Mhm.
But um, even we as people who have affiliation with Starlink
Mhm.
through so many mediums didn't know when this was going to happen.
Mhm.
You know, I've had people ask me inquiries about it and stuff like that. But like I mentioned earlier,
Mhm.
we are just a service provider,
Yes.
okay, in the distribution chain
Mhm.
that
Yes.
Starlink represents.
Yes.
And I was just highlighting
Mhm.
some of the innovation, the
Mhm.
advantages,
Mhm.
uh, what it means for people,
Mhm.
you know, and it being a game changer. I
Yes.
talk about it as far as it being an equalizer as far as opportunity, because what
Mhm.
we notice in Liberia here, for
Mhm.
example, you have certain access, certain options here in Morovia,
Yes.
but when
Yes.
you go in Rivers, when you go in Grand Cru, when you go in
Mhm.
even in Yekepa,
Mhm.
when you go in Grand Jide, you don't
Mhm.
have that kind of access, you
Absolutely.
know. So that's what Starlink represents. Again, I'm not. I don't work for Starlink. I don't get none of their money.
Sure,
but
I know.
but I mentioned earlier that
Mhm.
I'm considered a thought leader in my sector.
Uh-huh.
So if there's any technology or innovation that's improving lives, that is bringing about digital inclusion or other
Mhm.
good stuff that we represent, and
Mhm.
we uh, try to bring to Liberia to benefit the people, then yes, I am going to talk about it. So it could be any company
Yes.
that's doing what they're doing. I have no affiliation with SpaceX and Mr. Musk, Elon Musk,
Mhm.
the CEO of Starlink
Sure.
and SpaceX. But
Mhm.
he has he is a thought leader too in the whole technology sector, right? And
Absolutely.
he's innovating. His companies are doing well.
Mhm.
So we talk about it. We have other partners besides Starlink that provide the
Mhm.
very same service that
Yes.
as Starlink does,
Mhm.
and and we talk about them, at time.
Mhm.
Matter of fact,
Mhm.
uh, I just mentioned where we had about 15
Mhm.
schools in our schoolnet program.
Mhm.
Okay, all of those schools are on our distributing partner,
Mhm.
Etosat OneWeb, which is
Mhm.
a French company. Well, it's a French American company now. They had
Mhm.
a collaboration. So we when we talk about what we're doing, it's not what Starlink is doing. We're not doing it through Starlink. We're doing it through a different company.
Sure.
Okay. So, but yeah, Starlink bringing in uh, affordability,
Mhm.
quality, which is the
Yes.
biggest thing. And like I talk about, where you have here, for example, in Morovia, there's certain
Mhm.
quality, there's certain options that you have,
Mhm.
and prices and all that kind of good stuff. And other people in other countries, other counties and other towns don't have that. So
Absolutely.
that's what Starlink represented. That's why we talk about it the way we do.
So let's talk about affordability because that is a big issue. That can be the determining line between inclusion and people not
Yeah,
included. Yes.
yeah.
So um i- as I said, I was just up country, for lack of a better word,
Mhm.
and a lot of people. Can you tell us about what we are expected to see in terms of affordability? Like how like someone from a town
Mhm.
in
Mhm.
Beaumont,
Mhm.
let's say,
Mhm.
how can your service
Mhm.
be affordable to them? Because that is an issue right now for a lot of Liberians. They can't afford being on the internet. They can
Yeah,
barely afford
that's true.
eating. But there's a model that you had explained to me earlier, and I'm gonna repeat that model to
Mhm.
you. You know, if you live in a little small village,
Mhm.
and the prices now that we know have reduced,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Like you guys can come together
Mhm.
and collect and pay a monthly fee.
Yeah.
So I know, like, when you have this type of business, you can't really talk about prices, especially when you
Mhm.
get this breaking news.
Mhm.
But there's possibility of giving like people some like a range in
Yeah.
which they can.
So the
uh
good thing about Starlink,
Mhm.
they whatever they do is all public.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
So
it's no susu, no
there's no
fubu.
there's nothing
There's nothing hidden.
yes, great.
So actually, they published the prices, and that's how we knew.
Okay.
Because one of the distributors that we work with, they're an American company,
Hmm.
and they told us that they cannot service Liberia until Starlink publish those local prices.
So what are the local prices are they publishing? And give me 1 second. For
Mhm.
those of you who are joining us and listening, we're talking about the breakthrough news that came through today, and we're talking about technology inclusiveness. So for those of you who have been complaining, and I've been complaining too, and I'm talking about people who are in the diaspora, I'm talking about people who in Liberia, I'm talking about people who are around the world, who sometimes you have challenges. Just getting on the internet. If you come from other parts of the world, you're not used to it because it's so accessible. So today, Signal Technology is here. The CEO of Signal Technology, Mr. Phyllis Lawrence, is here, and he's trying to lessen the gap. He's trying to make the gap smaller between the people who are able to get internet services. Even before I came to visit the US, there's a package that you can get from your phone company that will allow you to get on the internet and to be able to make your phone calls. But getting into the country, that is relying upon the country's network, because as soon as we hit the ground, my phone got connected to either Orange or, I'm sorry to call those words, I'm not giving a free publicity, but either one of the phone companies in the country. But if those phone companies are not stable enough and they don't have the link, you would not be able to talk to your children or family or work from
That's true.
here in certain ways.
That's true.
So that's part of the challenges. And this is what Mr. Fitz is trying to do. He's working day and night. I've seen a couple of places trying to make Liberia a place where the technology of internet services would be provided. He's a service provider, and that's what he does. So yeah, tell me, if you live in the Bomai, a town in Bomai,
Mhm.
Vanita, let me
Mhm.
say, because that's what
Yeah.
I'm familiar with.
Okay.
Like, how can we break through with the inclusiveness in terms of prices? What's on the website? What is Starlink telling us?
So uh, this is brand new.
Mm-hmm.
The It was last night that we learned about it.
Mm-hmm.
Local launch of Starlink. We know Starlink got their license about 3 months ago, a
Mm-hmm.
little over 3 months ago. But the local prices for Liberia were not displayed on their website. So now, if you go to Starlink website, and there's an area there where you can select what country, what region. And when you select Liberia, there's prices. There's where you can even order your Starlink from Starlink website directly. Okay, well, you got to pay, the different fees and shipping and DHL, all that kind of stuff.
Well, can I hold you there? However, if you're in Liberia, because you can get the equipment from you,
Yeah.
okay, you don't have to go to the United States, ship it to you. It costs $250, because I've done this before for other people here. This was before.
Yeah.
Okay. And yes, go ahead.
So Starlink has some global services, right? That works anywhere. Yeah. Those global services can be sold by a Starlink distributor in Guinea or in Ghana to somebody anywhere in Africa.
Yes.
Okay. And that's the kind of service that we were subscribing to for some time. Okay. But the local one is different. Like I say, it's based on economics.
Yes.
So they take into consideration their affordability. But you still have access to the same speed and everything else. But to go to the prices, for example, and like I say, it's public information. It was in a lot of chat groups.
Okay.
Today.
Yes.
They have residential and they have business
Okay.
plans. The residential plans start from $40, I believe, a month.
Wow.
Yeah,
That is
yeah. And the
wow.
business plan starts from $70. That's
Oh,
what I
wow.
can call off the top of my head.
Okay.
What this means for people in those places you just mentioned.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And remember now, a Starlink dish and their service are all there's not a lot of difference. Okay, Starlink don't give you 5 meg and you 3 meg. No, it doesn't do that. Everybody have the same access.
Okay.
Okay. Well, there's the business people have priority access, right? Because when there's a lot of people on, they want to give the business people priority.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But remember that. So what I'm alluding to is that these terminals that they have and they provide, you can put 100 to 200 people on it. Okay, I remember I was just at an occasion in the Administrative Complex, and they were using one of the Starlink dishes there, and there was like almost 40 or 50 people in the place on this one tiny dish.
Yes.
Yeah, tiny modem. It was just
Sure,
one.
sure.
It was like 40 people. Well, I mean, if you're familiar with what we have here in Liberia, and we have some great services by some very good companies, but that kind of capacity, to hold, and that's why I was just telling Lorraine, you can actually share a dish with an entire town.
Yes.
If you have a town of 200 or 300 people, and you don't have good cell service, you can come for a very nominal fee. You can set up a Wi-Fi in the city, somewhere there, and get it done.
Yes. And what this means for us who are, traveling people in the diaspora and also in Liberia, and you are in Liberia, for medicine, a surgeon could be here getting supervision from a surgeon in the United States via internet service, right?
Yeah.
So that's what it means. So this is what I call it, like a game changer for
Yeah.
us. And with some consistency, education, which is what you pride yourself in, that's one of your signature program.
Yeah.
Where you go into different schools that are outside of Monrovia, and you kind of help. Do you do the installation as well?
Yeah, once the Starlink stuff gets fully rolled out, it's a system that is designed to be self-install.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. It has a lot of what can I say? A lot of it was designed that
once you just have to
a layman can pretty much do it.
Okay, good. Okay. I'm glad you saying that.
That's the term I was looking for.
Yes.
It was designed to where the layman can
so
get it done.
So I'm talking about telemedicine, where people would be able to get supervision or even do surgery by instructions, or I'm talking about agriculture. A lot of the farmers can share information and news in regards to purchase prices and all of those stuff, and tools, security wise. I mean, there's a lot of benefits from just engaging signal technology and working with them to get yourself on Starlink, which is the breaking news for tonight. But I had a question that I wanted to ask you. So we're talking about the self installation. So it's just a matter of finding a spot in the town, right?
Yeah.
Where they'll be able to have access to the
clear view of the sky.
Clear view. Thank you.
That's
yes, that's the knowledge. Yes, that's the word. So that's your field. So you know that word.
Yeah.
So tell us, because this is what a lot of people are interested in. They want to know, how is it that they will be able to do it if they went to like these villages with 10 or 30 or 100 persons, and everybody paying $1 to pay, or if you're saying $30 is or $70, and you have 100 people, it's even less than $1. So that's the inclusiveness part.
Yeah, we the good old people at LTA did a very phenomenal job.
Yes.
By the swiftness in getting this provider into Liberia. They did a very great job doing that. So kudos to them.
Yes.
Okay. And, it showed the foresight, in their leadership and everything else. So now to just talk about the service, I just mentioned that the average Starlink dish can host about, anywhere from 50 to 100 to 200 people, depending on the usage, right? When you're in our industry, you are actually you look at capacity. How much, if you got an internet connection, how much can you, how many devices and people can you put there? How many TV can you scream YouTube on before it starts slowing down?
Exactly.
That's how you judge, the quality of it, right?
Yes.
So for this service, it allows people to actually have more capacity. Okay. So this is perfect. This is not, as a provider, this is not something that we like to talk about a lot, because we want to get as much, subscriptions and stuff like that out there. But overall, these are services that can actually provide, again, connection to 200, 250 concurrent connections and stuff like that. So that is the advantages. Is actually referred to as fiber-like. Fiber-like.
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah. So if you know what fiber is,
yes,
that's where we connect entire universities and entire banks and stuff like that to government ministries. That's what we connected to. So this is what this service provides, and that's what I was talking about, it being an equalizer at the beginning, right? Where the very same connection, the very same everything that is experienced in Monrovia and places close to Monrovia. Like right now, we have a provider that's providing fiber to the home in Sincall for what I heard, like almost $25 for fiber.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not going to call anybody name. But now this fiber-like technology allow people now who are in Riverside or in Hapa or Pueblo or any of those places to actually have access to the very same service at just about the same price or even less if they can share it.
Yes, and I'm going to tell you guys a little secret here. I've been traveling a little bit through Liberia, and I was able to take with me Starlink service, and I was able to get on the internet. I think you've seen my background changed in a couple of shows. That's because I had the Starlink system with me. So I'm a living witness to a certain degree that it works. Can you tell us a little bit about your location? Where can someone find you in Monrovia, number one? And tell us about the customer service that they receive, because customer service is like really big. So if I'm looking to get equipment from you, from your company, Signa Technology, not necessarily you, because you may not always find Mr. Lawrence in his office. He has a team that works with him. But I mean, if you insist on seeing him, I'm sure he can find his way to the office. They can reach him through the telephone. But tell us about the customer service and what people should expect when they go in your office to ask to get hooked onto the internet service.
So our office is located at Escady Boulevard Junction. Okay, we're adjacent the Connex gas station.
Correct.
It's a glass office building there. That's where our office is. Our phone numbers. The best way to get a hold of us, because we are a technology-driven company, we actually have, we have various mediums where we can get connected.
Okay.
You can send us a Facebook message and somebody will call you back.
Okay. So Facebook message.
No, I'm just saying that's one of the mediums.
Yes.
But it has to be a serious inquiry, right?
Yes.
Okay, we got to take that into consideration.
Yes.
So if you say, "Oh, Mr. Lawrence, your telephone," well, maybe because you weren't serious enough.
Yes. You have to have a technological question, okay?
Or something. Something. So, so our website is signal231.com. Okay.
Thank you.
There we had a chat. We got a chat bot that you can talk to and can answer your questions. Our phone numbers for MTN is 0886 882200. For Orange Liberia is 0777 888 020. Kind of easy. 777-888-020.
Awesome.
And is manned 24/7.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And that's a very great way to meet us. Or you can fill up we have various forms, online
Mhm.
forms, where
Mhm.
if you want any kind of service, you can fill it up, and once you hit submit, it comes to myself or my team, and we get on there right away.
I have to tell you that Mr. Lawrence has been a little bit humble here and generous in this conversation. I actually happened to visit the office because I like to experience what the customers, or when we have conversations on this show, what you might experience when you go to the office. And it was a pleasant customer service that was provided to me. I went on the second floor. You have to go on the second floor, and he wasn't there at the time. And there's a receptionist that's just very welcoming. You tell her what you want, and I happened to get education because I'm very new to this whole technology, and so there was someone in his office that answered all of the questions very well for me. As I was walking out of the office coming down, I walked into,
Yeah,
he didn't even know I was coming to the
I
office. I
know.
don't think
It's
he,
surprising.
yes, I walked into him. And then, of course, we extended our conversation. But I wanted to also ask you, I don't, and feel free to answer this question or not.
Hmm.
This is such a game changer to me. I wonder how the current internet service providers in Liberia, like
Hmm.
and I'll be honest with those of you that are listening. When you come to Liberia, you have to either visit two of the major phone service providers to get a router. And because I'm always in need of being on the web, and to do shows like this, I have a modem that is extremely outdated that I carry with me as I'm driving. And as I'm thinking about this, because I knew the news from last night, that we got this approval. Our country, Liberia, got this approval from Starlink, and so I was wondering, like, what's going to happen to them? Did you want to share your thoughts on them? I know you've been worked very nicely, and there's been a professional relationship between you and the LTA, of course, and they are the guarantor
Hmm.
of these two other companies.
Hmm.
So, but what do you think? If you want to share that, what would you advise that's foreign Liberians who are in Liberia? Um, what should they do with? Should I continue getting a modem when I come here? Or
So, you know, we have great companies in this country.
mm-hmm,
I was just at the diaspora event the other time,
mm-hmm,
and a statistic was revealed that
mm-hmm.
was shocking to me.
Yeah, what
Right,
happened? What was it?
the statistic was that during COVID, and I think even during Ebola,
Mm-hmm.
the remittance
Yes,
from overseas
yes,
contributed 23% of the
yes.
GDP.
Correct.
That
Yeah,
is
good.
amazing.
Yes,
And it was via these, a lot of them was via remittance,
yes.
mobile money.
This. Mm-hmm.
We have a local company here.
Yes.
I don't want to call that
Send.
name.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, Sendwave, the
yeah,
Titme, the
yeah,
Iwali, all
yeah,
those great guys. So
yeah.
these companies serves Liberia well.
Yes, yes.
So as far as what we do, and I always mention that we consider ourselves a complement to
To
the
this.
GSMs.
Okay, great.
Okay, we are a complement. We are affordable,
Mm-hmm.
quality complement to
Okay.
what they do.
Okay.
Uh, in the line of business, we don't see ourselves as competition.
Okay, great.
Besides just the big GSM, there are companies here in Morovia
Mm-hmm.
that have invested significant amount of money in infrastructure
Mm-hmm.
just to bring quality service to people.
Yes, and
Okay,
kudos to them.
yeah,
We're
and
thankful.
with jobs and
Mm-hmm.
taxes and all that kind of good
Absolutely.
stuff,
Yes.
those stuff is important. So sometimes we forget that
Mm-hmm.
these companies contribute significantly to our
Yes.
what the government cover or something like
Yes,
that, right?
yes, yes, the government
Exactly,
cover,
where
yes.
where they
Yeah, and the
we use
livelihood of people, they
exactly.
hire them, the
Yep.
economy, basically,
Exactly.
yes.
And it's everything tie in.
Yes.
Okay. But we have a mantra.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have personally have a mantra.
Great.
I believe that competition breeds innovation.
Absolutely, I
Right.
do too.
Competition is necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very necessary. It's what drives us.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's what improves.
Yeah.
If you have one or two people doing certain things in your
Mm-hmm.
neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
and there's no competition, those guys will just remain complicit.
Absolutely.
Have you seen the hotels around here, how they be competing? Have you gone Canta and see how
Yeah.
one hotel is so big, and the next year somebody's building
So
something
bigger.
even more bigger?
Yes.
I love those guys in
Yes.
Canta. I love
Yes.
him on Canta.
Yes.
So so the same applies
Mhm.
to the service that we provide and everything
Mhm.
else. We
Mhm.
believe that competition breeds
Mhm.
innovation,
Mhm.
and it's a good thing.
Mhm.
Yes, we have people right now that are like your service, for example.
Mhm.
It's all online. A
Yes.
lot of it is online. Let's put it that
Yes.
way. We
Yes.
have musicians now
Mhm.
that have a bigger platform,
Awesome.
where they can now showcase their music to the world.
Mhm.
Liberian musicians, by the
Absolutely.
time they get to the States, they're like superstar already.
Yes, I've seen that.
You know,
Mhm.
you got students. You mentioned the telemedicine, for
Yes.
example. I was in a town
Mhm.
in it's somewhere it's by
Mhm.
Totota, where my farm is,
Mhm.
where I saw a nurse looking up a procedure online
Absolutely. That's what.
before she did it. She went on her
Mhm.
phone, she typed the procedure, she
Absolutely.
watched the video,
Mhm.
and then she went to the press. Okay, I read it.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff we're looking for. That's the
Yes.
kind of stuff we're trying
To change.
to change, to bring
Mhm.
about. Because for
Mhm.
those people, yes, internet is not food, is not everything, but it can help you gain food. It
It
can help you
does.
make money.
It does.
It breeds innovation. It
Mhm.
breeds creativity
Mhm.
and everything else,
Mhm.
and it gives people access to a global platform. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm happy to hear that you are working along with the different companies,
Yeah.
the LTA company. You have
Mhm.
a cordial and professional relationship.
Mhm.
Yes, if there are times where there's competition, but
Mhm.
the competition does, like you said, breed innovation.
Yeah.
So, and that's how it should be, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, exactly.
And for some reason, I think that this is all going to work out
Yeah,
because that's how I
it is
usually
going to work
think
out.
it's all
Yeah.
going to work
Mhm.
out. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to cause for
Yeah.
improvement, and we who are the customers, we're going to
Mhm.
be the beneficiary
Exactly.
of
Yes.
the innovation. So
Exactly.
so
Yeah.
that's good.
The
Um,
customers always win.
yes, yeah, that's the motto. That should be
Yeah.
the motto.
Yeah.
So we talked about this, how Starlink been in this country via Signal technology, and how if you want products, and if you want to learn more about this game changing technology that happened in Liberia, you can just, of course, contact Mr. Phyllis Lawrence at Signal Technology. He's in our studio today. So for all of those who are joining us, you're watching Spoon Talk Business, I want to thank you for joining us, and I apologize for being late. I have limited time in Liberia, so I just came from what I consider to be up country. Simply because I don't want to disclose where I'm coming from,
That's
but
it. Yeah.
but uh like we talk about education, there's a lot of schools
Mhm.
that might need services and they
Mhm.
don't have services, and how I just picture myself, and this is how I picture Starling working for me through Signal Technology. Um, I'm looking to teach classes while I'm in this country, so I'll be able to get on the
Mhm.
internet and teach
Yeah.
via, which is something that I do from home.
Mhm.
I did an entire COVID
Yeah.
season, and
Yeah.
I looking to in summer I do have online classes. So I'm looking to sit
Yeah.
here on my farm, which
Yeah.
is outside of Monrovia,
Yeah.
and do that. And I believe that Starling will be able to allow me to do
Yeah.
that. So if you're in country or out country,
Yeah.
you can be working from home,
Yeah.
and use service like
Yeah.
what Mr. Lawrence has to
Mhm.
offer.
Yeah.
We talked about the infrastructure development,
Mhm.
the different telecommunications, processes, and what's going to happen to all the companies,
Mhm.
and how this is a game changer.
Mhm.
Like we were so used to, and I have to admit, I was used to paying a lot for internet services.
Mhm.
That's just a stage of life,
Yeah.
something that Liberians have to face.
Yeah.
But with having availability to the internet, or access to the internet
Mhm.
service, or
Mhm.
the satellite service,
Mhm. Yeah.
the price is going to go down. This
Yeah.
is what I'm hearing.
Which
Okay.
is great. Yeah.
Yes, that's very great for we talk about I'm also, many of you know that I'm trying to make farming sexy in Liberia.
Yeah.
I'm
There
trying
you
to
go.
make cassava farming
There
sexy.
you go.
And I imagine, how I can, use that to contact other farmers,
Mhm.
contact other people that
Mhm.
I want. And I'll tell you a story. I was up country today, and where my family is, the rest of my other family, there's no internet service, there's no electricity. So they have to come, like, maybe to me it's about 30 minutes. No, it's about 10 minutes drive, but for walking it's about 30 minutes walk to the
Mhm.
junction where LEC is,
Mhm.
and then they have to plug their phone in,
Yeah.
and then and that's when they will see my
Charging booth.
yes,
Mhm.
that's where they will see also that I called, or either I send messages. But if with Starlink,
Mhm.
it makes things a whole lot
Yeah.
easier. And even though there's we're getting electricity slowly,
Challenges.
okay, yes, I want you to tell me the story about how we can, about the battery pack
Mhm.
charger,
Mhm.
about how we can sort of use that for now until
Mhm.
we really get a generator
Mhm.
system or either connected to LEC. Can you tell us that story
Yeah.
quickly?
Yeah, so we have partnerships with various companies here in Liberia, and one of those companies is Rural Solar.
Okay, good,
Rural Solar out of
good.
Burrowville.
Okay,
Okay, it is ran by its dynamic CEO, Mr. Lee Ward Walkie. He's a great guy. They recently got uh, uh, supplemented by the World Bank to provide
that's excellent.
uh, solar kits to about 3,000 homes all over Liberia,
Mm,
especially rural area, focused on rural areas where they're providing solar kits that can
mhm.
charge phones, have like up to 10 lights, fans, and everything.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we actually test on one of their like battery pack,
Mm-hmm.
and we were able to get about 4 hours on the Starlink
Okay,
just on the battery pack.
that's good.
Starlink is designed in a way is designed for harsh environment.
Mm-hmm.
That's why usually we see, these natural disaster, Elon Musk would be the first one to jump up and say, "I'm
I'm
sending 1,000 kids over there.
and I'm supporting it.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
supporting it."
yeah,
Exactly.
yes.
Like it is designed that in mind,
Okay,
and that's why every time
awesome,
we talk about rural and stuff like that.
awesome.
Okay, so Rural Solar is one of the and many other great solar companies
Mm-hmm.
in Liberia. I
Mm-hmm.
mentioned Rural because they
Yeah,
are
that's
implementing partners of ours.
good.
Okay,
Okay.
so we're not just bringing connectivity; we also bringing renewable
Mm-hmm.
energy
Yes.
behind it. And
Sure.
when
For the good for the environment.
exactly, we're supposed
Yes.
to be doing some collaboration with them
Mm-hmm.
in some of the deployments that they're going to be doing
Mm-hmm.
all over Liberia.
Mm-hmm.
The World Bank has supplemented this project that they are doing, and like I said, they're like about 3,000 homes, I think, of like 9 states.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, 9 counties. I'm
Yes.
so sorry.
Yes. Yes.
We're 9
Yes.
states.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not in
Yes.
Nigeria.
you like me, right?
Yeah,
Or in the United States.
yeah. So I hear the music. Uh,
Yes.
Also, before I leave,
Mhm.
we're working on an initiative with one of a great charitable organization here in Liberia.
Correct.
We have a partner in the UK known as Connected.org. We are working to actually bring Starlink internet service to 1,000 schools, and we're trying to get it supplemented. So it's going to be free to the schools for a year. Yeah,
Wow.
so that's I can't disclose too much about that.
Yes.
But you talk about education, and that's
Yes.
how we are working with
Mhm.
USAID and groups like that to
Yes.
try to supplement where we're going to get distributed. Starting via one of the charitable organizations that is, when it becomes official, everybody will know it. If you're familiar with that charitable organization, we're going to be providing Starlink to about 1,000 schools.
Awesome.
And right now we're trying to source funding and stuff like that.
Wow. I hope you heard this. If you are a school administrator, the person to call would be Mr. Lawrence at Signal Technology, right?
Not on that one.
The charitable, the
Once that is
charitable.
officially launched.
Okay,
Yeah, they can
well,
call them.
Yeah, well, you can give them some information. Yes, yes. Oh, sorry, sorry. Well, that was great news for me. And this is to get schools that are in rural areas connected to the internet. I have a couple of recommendations for you already.
It's going to be a charitable
Yes,
organization,
yes. I can.
Yeah.
Well, you can direct me to
Definitely.
the
We'll
charitable.
announce it on Spoon. Don't
Okay.
worry.
Yes, yes. I mean, we're hearing the music right now, but I want to say it's always great having Mr. Phyllis Lawrence in the studio. I look forward to many more conversations like this. It's just always something that I get away when we have these conversations. I hope you are getting something taking something away with this conversation. We're glad that you were able to join us today. There's so much to offer here and so much work to do in Liberia when it comes to providing internet services. But guess who's filling the gap for us, or who's helping to fill the gap for us? He's doing his part, Mr. Phyllis Lawrence, and we really want to thank you for coming in today to talk to us. We hope that you'll be able to come back again and that this is not your last time talking to the Liberian people about what's going on with the internet world. So thank you so much. Yes.